Tired of the spin? Sick of the noise? BS with Joe. Cutting through the show, truth bombs drop. Now everybody knows. Red, white, blue, but never just one view. It's the real, raw take, straight to you. This is BS with Joe. Let's get into it.
All right, this is BS with Joe. We're going to be doing a reaction video.
Yes.
So we're going to be watching a video, something that happened here in Orlando, Florida, which is close to where we reside. Joe resides in Orlando. I reside close to Orlando. Mm-hmm. Might as well be Orlando.
Right.
All right.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It is. There. Oh, there.
All right.
Boom, perfect timing.
This is the story of Juan Vasquez.
Juan Vasquez.
Yes. And a run-in he had with the Orlando Police Department.
And from what I gather, he was arrested for not having a firearm?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so let's find out.
Arrested. He spent 3 days in jail. He lost his job. He lost his apartment. He got evicted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Destroyed his life.
Oh, yeah. It ruined his life.
Well, to be honest with you, most arrests do create a huge problem with your life.
And police don't seem to take that into account at all.
Yes.
So, March 26, 2025. This is recent.
Recent.
Very recent.
Okay.
That is Mr. Vasquez.
Okay.
Juan Vasquez, a resident of the Conway Forest apartment complex in Orlando, Florida, became the subject of a false firearm accusation. A maintenance worker at the apartment complex called 911 and falsely claimed to have seen Juan Vasquez with a firearm after hearing yelling near apartment 214. Responding officers from the Orlando Police Department included Lieutenant Nick Collins and Officer Sebastian Shields. Upon arrival, Lieutenant Collins confronted Mr. Vasquez, issued aggressive commands, and escalated the encounter without conducting a proper investigation. Mr. Vasquez, who was cooperative and unarmed, was forcibly detained. Despite no firearm being found, Lieutenant Collins used unjustified physical force during the arrest, causing injury to Mr. Vasquez's left elbow and aggravating his pre-existing back and neck injuries. Officer Shields, under the direction of Lieutenant Collins, placed Mr. Vasquez under arrest for 2 counts of resisting an officer without violence. In July of 2025, I had the opportunity to interview Juan Vasquez about his first-time experience being arrested and jailed. What he shared with me about his ordeal with the police was deeply disturbing. Here's what he had to say.
My name is Juan Vasquez. I'm Dominican. I was raised in New York. I moved to Florida about 9 years ago. I've been working for this private company, a wine company. And I just decided to just move out here just to, live a different life that I was living in New York. So I've been living in my apartment complex for like about 6 years now. And I never had any issues with anybody. Never had any complaints, everything was on point, rent on point, everything. About a year ago, a new tenant moved above me. They moved on, I live on the 2nd floor. They moved on to the 3rd floor. And ever since they moved, they were making a ton of noise, like back and forth. They were bouncing basketball, lifting weights, dropping with the weights on the floor. So typically what we do is just grab a broom and just hit the ceiling to let them know, hey man, you are overdoing it. You need to slow down. But they kept on doing it, and they were doing it for a pretty long time. So I did the right thing, going to the office, let them know, hey man, these people are just making, they just too many disturbance. They, I can't sleep. They, it's been 6 o'clock in the morning. They wake me up. It's almost 9 o'clock at night. They still making noises. I need you guys to do something. And I did that like about 5 times. Like I went to the office about 5 times, but then they never did anything. They never did anything. So on that day, on March 28th, I don't know what happened that day, that they were just like, they didn't care. I suffered an injury at work that I was out of work for from about 2 months. I wasn't working for about 2 months because due to my injury. So that's when everything started like, bothering me a lot more because I was home more time than usual. So on that day, I couldn't just take it anymore. So what I did was I normally grab the broom, I hit the ceiling or whatever. But on that day, I hit the ceiling a little hard. A little harder than normal. So I guess he didn't like that. The guy, he didn't like it. So when I did that, he opened the balcony door and he just went onto the balcony and he started barking at me. He started like screaming like, "What are you doing?" and calling me names and cursing at me in Spanish. And I was just letting him know, bro, you need to stop, man. I mean, these floors are very thin and they're very low. I mean, I hear everything when you make noise, bro. Like when you drop those weights, when you play basketball or whatever, everything shakes down here. And he was just went at it. So like 5 minutes passed and I decided to just go outside because I needed to just go outside. I needed like a little breather. I needed to get out of the apartment. So when I went outside, one of the maintenance guy from the apartment complex approached me. He was just walking by and he approached me and he asked me like, everything okay? And I told him, I was like, man, I'm just tired of these people. Ever since they moved, they've been making noises and you guys know about it. I reported it to you guys and you guys haven't done anything. But this guy just looked at me. And when he looked at me, he was on his phone. When he looked at me, he just turned around and he went back where he came from. So when he did that, I decided to just go back, back to my apartment. When I decided to go back to my apartment, I see him and two females coming like towards me. Like they were just trying to like speak to me, but him and one of the females stopped halfway. And then the complex manager, she approached me. She was gonna approach me. So when I saw that they were coming, towards me, I didn't go upstairs. I came back outside so I can speak to her. So she approached me and she started asking me, like, hey, what happened? I heard someone screaming and things like that. Like, yeah, this guy was just screaming. He was just going crazy. And out of the blue, she asked me, do you have a gun on you? And I said, no, I don't have no gun on me. Like, why you ask me that? Are you sure? And I said, yes, I do not have a gun. And she said, no, because it's been reported that you have a gun. And I went like that. I said, no, I don't have a gun. And, all I had was my cell phone. Like 3 minutes later, this guy showed up on an unmarked car. It was like a black SUV. He showed up with a police uniform. He never introduced himself. And he asked what happened. As you can see it on the video. I didn't say anything. She right away responded and she told him, everything is cool. I don't know if you can hear in the video, but she told him like everything is fine, everything is cool. And when he approached, I was calm. Like I was never aggressive. I was never, I was always calm. But mind you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's there for. I don't know, I don't know what's going on. So when he asked her what was going on, she told him that, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he just asked me to put my hand forward. Like, put your hand forward. And I'm like, I was in shock. Like, for what? Like, first of all, I didn't like his demeanor. Like, when I saw him, I didn't like his demeanor. I felt like he was just going to do something right away. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, you know what? So when I saw that and he asked me that, so my reaction was just grab your phone and start recording because you don't know what's going to happen. So when I went to grab my phone, that's when everything happened. Hands on right away.
How you doing, man?
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it.
Hey, what's going on today?
Hey.
Yes, I'll reach you.
I'm just talking with this gentleman. He's a resident on our second floor. He's having problems with the person upstairs.
Okay.
I think we're all good.
All right.
We just want to...
All right, we're set to the
Just do me a
left.
favor. Just put your hands like this. Put your hands like that. I'll tell you put your hands like that. Put your hands together. Don't reach into anything. Don't reach into anything.
Hey,
don't reach into anything. What did I tell you to do with your hands?
Why are you grabbing my hand?
Why?
For?
Because somebody told me your arm. That's why. Give me your back number. Give me your back
That's
number.
why.
And when I say put your hands together, that's not reaching in.
Give me your hand and back
That's
number.
not reaching in.
Give me your hand and back number.
I'll give you the back.
Give me your hand and back number.
Yeah, we're
You're being
detaining one.
detained.
For what?
Okay?
For what?
Because somebody said you're out here armed.
Can somebody please record this?
That's
You got your body cam on?
Yes, I do.
You got your body cam on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Got body cam?
All right.
Okay.
All right. Everybody else can slow down. We have
I'm not
one detained.
resisting. I'm not resisting.
You have a firearm, are
Are
you?
you talking 12?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
So when he arrived, he never told me, well, if you're professional enough, just showed up, and asked me questions or investigate first. You know what I mean? Like if I was to be that officer or that lieutenant or whatever, I would show up and I would.
There's some things whenever. Okay, so from what I've seen in the video, how his actions were, when the officer approached him, that's one of those kind of things. It's like the officer was, I honestly think, was being polite, but also you got to think about it. If the reason why he's probably asking him to put his hands together like this,
because he was going to cuff him right away.
Well, he was going to cuff him and search him.
Yeah,
because he's got to make sure that the scene is safe. Because they reported that he had a firearm. If you notice in the background, there was an officer that had an AR-15
right there
slung, and the other one was next to him.
Yeah.
Yes, because they were going to handcuff him and all this other stuff. And I think if he would have complied a little bit more at that point, like especially once he put the handcuffs on. But
his first mistake was he reached into his pocket.
Right. And I get that because he didn't know what was going on. He was going to get his phone to record.
Yeah. Now, if the officer had walked up to him and said, "We received a report that you might have had a firearm. Put your hands like this," that might have changed things a little bit.
Right. But also you got to think of it this way now too. Almost every video I see, there's an officer with a camera.
Right.
So I'm going to assume that it's going to be recording. So this is just for everybody's own safety. Don't reach for anything whenever cops are interacting with you like that. And then 2, don't try to record it because it's just going to piss them off.
Yeah.
It's
going to be recorded anyway.
Right. It's going to get recorded with their body cams. And if it's not being recorded by their body cams, it's inadmissible.
Yeah.
So with that, just ask them, what is this about? And then comply.
Yeah.
That would de-escalate things quite a bit. Now, I don't know what happened.
Ask you, hey man, it's been reported that someone matching your description have a gun. I don't see no gun. I don't see you being aggressive or anything like that. Do you mind if I search you down? Of course, go ahead, pat me down. I mean, I know there's a gun involved. Go ahead, I'm gonna let you pat you down. But no, he never said anything like that. He just went hands on right away. So as soon as he did that, I told him, hey man, because I didn't know who he was. He never introduced himself. So I told him, hey, I need give me your badge number. Give me your name and give me your badge number right away so I know who you are. He never gave me anything. He started searching me. I never gave him any consent to search me. He searched me right away. He didn't find no gun. He kept on searching me, and he just, they just put handcuff on me, and they took me away. And it was frustrating. Like, I was nervous. I was like, yo, what's going on? When I see those officers behind me with machine guns, that's when I was like, hey, this is serious. Everything happened so fast, bro, that I couldn't say anything. So what I did was I just decided to just stay quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to do things very quickly because they're trying to secure the scene.
Yeah, they have to make sure that they're safe.
And everyone around them safe.
Right. Because if he did have a gun and he was an unhinged person, the situation would have escalated very fast.
And I think I somewhat understand why the officer was not saying much and was trying to get him to do certain things, is because it takes the person off guard.
Right.
You don't want to give them an inkling like, hey, we're going to do this, because they're either going to bolt, pull the firearm, whatever. He's actually lucky he didn't get blasted when he reached into his pocket for his cell phone.
I agree with that. So this is where they search it. They did a pretty thorough search. Standard procedure search. Checking for razor blades in the hat.
Right, and they wouldn't take him somewhere without doing a reason.
That's the type of evidence. But in your opinion, do you see any resistance yet?
No, not that I would see as a chargeable offense.
They charged him.
Anyone get your ID or anything, boss? I don't
Well, that's the thing. They're always going to overcharge because they can always drop charges later.
Well, if you fail to ID yourself, it's a charge.
Right?
I'm just asking you for your ID. If you fail to ID yourself, it's right here.
That was the second.
Failure to identify himself.
Right, you also need to ID yourself, it's an extra charge. We're not asking you any question about what happened. We're trying to figure out who you are. Yeah, I think you got your rights misunderstood, because you have to ID yourself, it's a law.
Because the cop didn't give him an opportunity to identify himself.
We suspect you of committing a crime.
Suspecting he's not committing a crime.
Okay, that's fine. It could just be an extra charge. That's fine if you want to play hardball. He doesn't want to tell us who he is or anything, so.
But at the same time, like, he isn't being arrested until that moment. He was just being detained and searched.
No, they had the intention to arrest him from the beginning.
Okay.
You didn't see anywhere where they even hesitated to take him to the car.
No, but I think a lot of that is because he wasn't cooperating. He even stated he wasn't going to be cooperating. So that's when because they were doing an investigation at first.
Well, he said he was willing to cooperate, but he didn't want to answer any questions.
Right, but that's also not cooperating.
It's his right to keep his mouth shut.
It is if you're being arrested, but if you're being interviewed, this is where that fine line. Are you being arrested or are you being interviewed?
You don't have to talk to police.
You don't have to, but it could be considered. I can't remember what it is. It's something with an investigation. It's like impeding an investigation.
Can you just hold him real quick so I figure out what's going on?
Alright, so shortly after this, they slam him on the ground.
Okay, after they've already got him.
Yeah.
What happened today?
Today, running into 16 minutes already, so I'm gonna pause that and tell you what happened.
Okay.
So shortly after that, they slammed him on the ground, pulled him back out. They had sat him in the car. They pulled him back out of the car, and then slammed him on the ground.
Is there body cam footage of that?
There is, and it was in this video, and I'll link this video in the description.
Okay, because like usually when officers go hands-on like that is because they're not complying.
Right. Well, he wouldn't answer any questions. He wouldn't ID himself.
Right. But also, usually, if they're going to book them and arrest them for these charges, you just go into the vehicle and you go to booking and you go get booked.
Okay. So 2 more things before I tell you what the eventual outcome of this was. Okay. Sebastian is a rookie.
Okay.
The initial cop that approached him is a rookie.
I could kind of tell with the way he spoke to the individual. My background, I have no law enforcement background, but I have security background, and I watch a lot of these police videos.
So,
because I want to know what the proper reactions are and the proper actions, not only for my safety, but everybody's safety.
Yeah.
My biggest fear, to be honest with you, is having police called on me and have a female police officer make contact with me.
Okay.
And the reason why is because somebody my size can be intimidating.
That's true.
They will more likely just, if I seem threatening at any point, and I do my best not to appear threatening unless I have to.
Yeah.
They could easily see that as a threat, pull their service weapon, and shoot me.
So Sebastian didn't know. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to charge with. Because it was a stretch to find anything to charge the guy with. Lieutenant Collins was the one that said, no, we're not letting him go. We're charging him with this and this. Which was 2 counts of resisting.
Yes.
So he spent 3 days in jail before he bonded out. It was a $30,000 bond. Okay. Then the charges were dropped because the DA reviewed the video and dropped all charges.
Yeah, because there's no crime committed.
Right. But when he got out of jail and got back to his apartment, there's an eviction notice on his door.
Right. Well, I could tell you that because the manager, the blonde in the video,
she looked like a Karen, didn't she?
You said it, not me. But yeah, what it is with places like that, they're always going to side with one tenant and not the other. And to be honest with you, him being arrested and not working, he seemed more of a liability, probably the complex.
He lived there for 6 years.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got history. He's
got history, and his new tenant is making noise.
The other guy's been there less than a year.
Vasquez probably doesn't make complaints, probably doesn't do anything. He's been there for 6 years.
Well, he said he's complained about this guy 5 times.
5 times. Well, this is recent, since the new guy moved in.
Right.
Now, and that's the thing, is like, I don't know much about the other history on all that, but whenever there's friction between two tenants like that, somebody's got to move.
Right.
And the guy that got arrested and charged with something, you're probably going to have them evicted before the other individual.
Yeah. Anyway, so he gets evicted from his apartment. He loses his job because of the arrest, and because he's in a position that requires, some backgrounds. He said he worked for a wine company. I don't know what.
Well, he could deliver wine or be a sommelier or not sommelier. Sommelier, yeah. Anyway. You know more about it than I do.
Yeah.
But you things like this happens. You're not going to be at work for a while because you're in jail.
Right.
And most companies, they don't have any loyalty to you. They're just going to terminate you and find somebody else because they need that position filled immediately.
Right. So, now, the police department has refused to comment at all.
Well, of course they're not going to comment on it because they made a mistake.
Right. And they don't even admit that they made a mistake.
Well, they shouldn't. Because here's the thing. A lot of cases like this, there will be probably arrest because, like I said, they're going to charge all this stuff at first. And it's like you're guilty and then you have to prove your innocence.
Right. And Mr. Vasquez is currently, as far as when this video came out, which is like a week ago, he still hasn't found a lawyer that will take the case.
Right. Because here's the thing, is like the law enforcement was called to the complex for this particular possible firearm with an individual with intent to use.
Right.
Because that's the reason why they had the machine guns, or he said machine guns, but AR-15 and other things, the presence. I think the way that the police officers conducted themselves wasn't completely bad, but they could have done a much better job.
I think that Sebastian will do a much better job next time.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. With him being a rookie, he's learning. And with that, I got to ding the FTO, the field training officer that trained him, in thinking about situations when you're going to come to this situation.
Right.
Because you've always got to think about this. And then how am I going to better it next time? How am I going to handle this situation next time?
The thing that really irked me was the way that Collins acted. He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, yeah.
He should know better.
Yeah. Yeah, and but at the same time, with individuals like the lieutenant, he's probably used to dealing with scumbags, and he's thinking this guy's a scumbag. But you shouldn't judge everybody by you think they're a scumbag or not. You should judge every individual. The other thing is,
this was the Conway Forest Apartments. This is not the ghetto.
No, it isn't. But that's, some officers are not that good. Some officers are good. With this, I think there was mistakes made on both sides.
I have to agree.
I think law enforcement could do better, and also the Velasquez should have been more of not so upset. I could see why he's heated, because he was talking to the manager, he was talking to these other individuals, he was even had an argument with the other tenant.
I think he could have probably been a little bit more compliant.
Yes. Especially once the cuffs went on.
Right.
Now, I could see also from Velasquez's point, why the cops on me? Why are you doing this? I'm going to jail. Why are you putting me in jail?
Right, because he hadn't done anything wrong.
Right. Now, and that's where, if he would have complied from the get-go, they may not have even booked him.
They may not.
Because once they find that he has no firearms and it was just an argument between two individuals, you could do that. That's not against the law.
But the initial charge was him reaching for his phone.
Yes, and that's not illegal either.
It's not, but that's where Collins was the dirty bird.
Right. But that's also where the district attorney didn't charge him with anything.
Exactly.
Because there was no crime.
Exactly.
Now, that's where the cops should have said, what are we going to book him with? What are we going to charge him with?
Right.
Resisting arrest to what? What crime did he commit?
Later in this video, Sebastian is pulled aside by another officer, and they're talking on Sebastian's body cam about, we should probably let this guy go. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. And then the other guy said, no, Collins says we're charging him with this.
Well, that's where, was it the rookie that said we're charging him with this?
No.
No.
It was another officer.
Another
The rookie was saying we should probably let this guy go.
Right. Well, that's because his real training kicked in, and the other officer is probably like, I got to get arrest. We got to get arrest. We got to arrest.
Well, it was Collins.
It was Collins. And
that's
Collins.
The lieutenant. The lieutenant was the one that said that we need to arrest.
Well,
but I don't think they needed to arrest.
No.
Once the searching was done and they established the situation and knew what was really going on, I think they should have just all parted ways.
Yeah, because there was no crime committed.
Right.
The only crime is that the police officers got their feelings hurt, apparently.
Exactly. So I think Collins was a little bit overzealous, and Sebastian just needs to be a little bit more situationally aware.
Right.
So let us know what you think.
Yes, leave a comment. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
This is a good video.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll do more of those.
Maybe. If it edits right,
yeah,
it should.